Hare Krishna. Let me first begin by offering my obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachayani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachanti Shatarini. I offer my obeisances to all of you. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasati Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So as Krishna Premarup Prabhu said, I had the amazing good fortune to meet Srila Prabhupada in London, at our temple in London, at the original temple. It was a place called Number 7 Bury Place. It was a rented house in central London, near to the British Museum. And I was so fortunate. I had come to the Krishna consciousness movement. I had, just a few months earlier, I had graduated from university and I'd come to London. I'd taken a job there, working in London. And I purchased one of Prabhupada's books. Not from a devotee, but from a bookstore. I purchased the Krishna book and I took it home, and my friend had a book also by the same author, which was a book called The Topmost Yoga System. And so I was very intrigued that this one man could write so many books, different books, and the book was certainly very colorful and vivid. The Krishna book, it was a beautiful silver-bound book with this wonderful picture of Radha and Krishna on the front and many illustrations inside the book. And I was really captivated by the beauty of the book. But when I read the Topmost Yoga System, then it had a very deep impact on me. Unlike many, I've been reading a lot of books and I've been looking for a spiritual guide, and I was thinking about taking initiation from people, but somehow I never got around to it. But after I read Prabhupada's book, I was convinced that this is something real. This is something which I can understand. Other people, they write books, but I would find them always very difficult to understand. What do they mean? What are they talking about? But when I read Prabhupada's book, everything was so clear to me. So I was really impressed, and I started to visit the temple in London and ended up becoming a full-time devotee there in London. And Prabhupada came there after some time. The devotee was always saying, Prabhupada's coming, Prabhupada's coming. And he would never come. We would wait and, oh no, he's coming later, he's coming, And now he's came, you see? He just came. Srila Prabhupada came. So, Srila Prabhupada he finally came. And when he did come, there was no disappointment, He was the living embodiment of pure devotion for Lord Krishna. I was a very young person. At that time I was 21 or something, So, I was totally new. I didn't know anything. But I was very eager to hear Srila Prabhupada. And he gave us a lot of opportunity to hear. He was always speaking to us. He was always trying to guide us and teach us. And another thing which I liked was that he lived with us. He lived in the same building with us. I was telling the devotees in Zurich just last night how we were living in London and the building was quite small and there was not much space. So one devotee had come over from Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, they had a big center there. And the devotee came over to our center in London, and he looked at our center and he said, "Oh, Prabhupada cannot stay here. No, this is not good enough for Prabhupada." And he wrote to Prabhupada and told Srila Prabhupada, "Srila Prabhupada, we're not going to let you stay in that little room when you come here next time. We're going to get you a nice suite in the hotel." And Srila Prabhupada wrote back and said, "I don't like to stay in hotels." And he said, "I like that room." But the devotee was saying, "That room's not good enough for you, Prabhupada." But Prabhupada said, "I like that room." So it was really endearing to all of us how much Prabhupada embodied the mood of simplicity and austerity. And at the same time, he was rich in deep knowledge. He could answer all questions on the philosophy. Everything was so crystal clear whenever Srila Prabhupada spoke. So I was so fortunate to have that opportunity to hear him and to see him. I saw him in London. Later on, I moved to USA, and I saw Prabhupada also in USA. And there was no difference. Wherever Prabhupada went, Prabhupada was the same person. He wasn't one person when he's in England, a different person when he went to USA. But I remember how in USA, in New York, I would see him in the garden in his gamsha, and he'd put his mat out on the lawn and he'd have a massage there in the garden. You know, and he lived so simply, how he did everything. And then again, I was with Prabhupada also in India. I'd gone to India. Srila Prabhupada wanted us to go to India to help to develop the preaching there in India, because at that point, of course, there were very few Indian devotees. And the people who had brought the movement to India, we were all Westerners. And Prabhupada especially wanted British people to go there because they didn't need a visa even at that time. And it was difficult for Americans. So we were in India, and I saw Prabhupada in India, how he lived and how he did so many amazing services, how he was traveling and how he was constantly preaching everywhere and taking care and guiding all of us devotees. And we were so raw, we were so uneducated and uncultured, we didn't know anything. Prabhupada had to train us from the beginning, from scratch. So I feel so much indebted to him. And of course, you know how Prabhupada, he came here to the city, Geneva, and he stayed for 8 days. You know, that's really shows how much he valued Geneva. He considered this to be an important city, and he put his time and energy into preaching here. And he wanted to see us also cultivate Krishna consciousness in this city, in this part of the world. It was very important to him. So I was very much eager to come and take part in this program today, because I want to encourage. I've been, for the last few years, I've been involved with the preaching here in Geneva, and I'm very happy to come here this time and try to help and encourage the devotees. And certainly I'm sure it's very pleasing to Srila Prabhupada that we try to do something here in Geneva and continue the legacy which he has given us. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.